Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Zwift Community Live broadcast of the Zwift Racing League, race number 3, presented by WTRL in the 2021-22 year, season 1. We're out on McCurry Islands for the Flatland Loop. It hasn't been super flat, though, by a lot of the racers, and the commentary team has been like, oh man, how has this been named? Take a quick look at it here. 38.85 kilometers, 24.1 miles, 297 meters of climbing, 974 feet, as you can see each lap. For 3 laps, there will be a steady grind up to the top where the Japanese village is hanging out, and then there's another sprint point actually over by the temple village. So 2 points that they will be looking toward and climbing. There's also a sprint point out in the countryside to take on out there as well for intermediate sprint. Intermediate speed up toward the top of that 4 kilometers. The women have jumped out on course for the Americas East Division 1A with some of the top racers in and amongst the world of Zwift racing. We're going to jump right down into the action. We are missing our co-commentator, Mr. Dave Towle, again today. Still struggling a little bit with the internet issues out there. So hopefully we'll have him back by tomorrow. Well, not back on broadcast, but back up and running with some internet and interwebs by tomorrow to be back in with us for the TTT on Thursday. I do see Anna Russell cheering on Team Riot. Christina Grossman back in the house. So we'll be on the watch out for some of these sprints out there for sure for her, as that is definitely going to be one of the main threats, I would think, is going to be Grossman smashing the watts. Dutch Diesel, though, as you can see at the top end of the leaderboard right now, followed up by Crouch and Gallopin. It's going to be ATP Racing, Stingers, Riot, Inside Out, Coeur AF, and then Plush FA in for 7th, Ego Wattage in 8th, Royal City Cycling and Sisu Du in 10th place. That's the current standings as they are. It's tied at the top, makes for some interesting racing for sure between Dutch Diesel and Crouch and Gallopin, but ATP Racing, Stingers, and Riot tied up for 2nd, but I have a feeling that perhaps they're going to have some plans to try and bring back a little bit on the day today. Today might favor them a little bit. As we've seen, the way things have been playing out today, it's definitely been a very tactical day, finding those points wherever you can. And it's definitely going to, has been about those who can play the game well today, not just throw down big watts whenever they can. Crush It now coming on through for DDC in the orange and blue. But here comes Grossman doing what Christina does. And I think she's trying to go plaid out here. Cameron, her teammate, coming on through with that arrow power up is going to be just a little bit more. 2 across the line. Team Riot, right from the get-go, showing us exactly what we were just talking about, saying, no, this is not done for the season at all. We are just getting started as we're into race number 2. And Gallopin and Dutch Diesel, they're going to have to start thinking about Riot now today and how they're going to cover a lot that's going to happen. I have a feeling that attack immediately following this, coming from Reagan Rathwell perhaps, or perhaps Rathwell will play more of what we saw from Maud earlier today, just covering and killing anything that tries to get away to steal any kind of points. Making things really difficult on her sprinters is most likely not what she's going to want to do. We do see Team Riot here with the fluoro-colored Zwift kit, 4 of them up front with Lieberman, though. And that is going to be a threat, Lieberman, with ATP in this race out here today, I would think, when it comes to just the pure ruler FTP-type rider. Looking to maybe try and make things a little bit more difficult on the sprinters out there today. Now, she doesn't want to hurt her teammates, though. That's for sure. Remnian from ATP is another one I'd be thinking about. Last week, she definitely showed up and showed off. Wendorf is here now up toward the front for Sisu. I Race Like a Girl. Frango's there for Royal City Racing. I'm making her way toward the front, and Ken Carriage and Gallopin as it starts to mushroom effect a little bit at the front end of this race now. And that's meaning that things are probably slowing down just a tad. Rathwell now 4.9 though, ramping it up again in that fluoro kit for Riot. Be able to spot them pretty easily, as it looks like a dance party out here amongst all of the different colors that the ladies are bringing to the course. Absolutely loving it. The men are just going to be getting out on course in about 2 minutes. We'll be covering the East and of the men's mixed as well for the A's Division 1 be on the watch out for that in just a few moments here. We'll be looking over how things are playing out for their standings as they get on to the flatter sections of the course. Galloping now up over the top. Here comes Alana Brady. Always one to watch out for when it does go uphill. Brady here, 158 beats per minute now. Keeping it chill at this point. Keeping it real. Is this going to be Jennifer? I'm assuming out here with, for the Venge though, not the S5, with the DT Swisses though. So interesting setup there. Perhaps just not enough drops here just as of yet to grab the S5 2020 Cervelo though. Just as of yet. Waiting for the preems to come on through. As soon as they do, we'll let you know how those first ones played out. Halfway up the climb, and let's see who has made it or not. And the breaks are starting to happen. Crush It from DDC now falling off just a little bit. 4.6 watts per kilogram coming from her in order to try and bring this back. It's also going to be NC from Ega Wattage. 5.9, I think Crush is going to make it happen. Perhaps 191 beats per minute for a moment. They were 93 now, and this is absolute suffering. Everything she has inside out here and plush with